Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a night of history in the making. Tonight, from the prestigious Balmoral Event Center at the iconic Federal Palace Hotel, a new legacy begins. A celebration of beauty, brains and purpose. This is the maiden edition of Miss World Nigeria 2025. Now brace yourselves for the grand entry of the pioneers, 22 remarkable women, the first ever delegates of Miss World Nigeria 2025.
I embody the beauty of an Arachuku maiden in carnival splendor. Draped in Ntorika fabric, I radiate royalty. While my Okuku hand fan symbolizes the authority of first daughters, my Jigida beads reflect fertility, and floral details mirror nectar's allure. Like palm wine, sweet and cherished, my presence captivates all. I am the sunrise, the essence of beauty, the show stopper.
I am crowned in tradition. I represent Adamawa's Fulani heritage. My upper body is adorned with cowries, once used as currency symbolizing wealth. My royal skirt signifies prestige, worn by queens and noble women. I embody the land of beauty and elegance, carrying Adamawa's legacy with pride.
Representing Oko, Igala, and Ebira cultures, I celebrate Kogi's unity in diversity. The basket I carry signifies the state's agricultural richness in cocoa and cashew farming. My symbol highlights the importance of promoting harmony across tribes while showcasing Kogi's vibrant heritage. My costume reflects Akwa Ibom's rich heritage, blending strength and femininity. Bold red and gold exude power, while intricate beadwork and braided headpiece showcase artistry. Traditionally worn by brides, my attire represents beauty, grace, and deep-rooted customs in a modern, striking way.
As Miss Anambra, I wear the Akwa Isiagu fabric. Its bold lion head motif symbolizing strength and leadership. Coral bead necklaces, waist beads, and a regal headpiece complete my ensemble. In my hand, I hold the Odunyinya horsetail. A symbol of prestige, I stand as a testament to tradition, royalty, and pride. I am Anambra.
Miss Bayelsa.
Bayelsa, adorned in Etibo elegance, with the calorie color breed, shine the picture of the Bayelsa. I embody the richness and refinement of Ijaw culture, where oil money meets elegance and timeless sophistication. I am Bayelsa.
Miss Cross River.
Inspired by epic royalty, I wear the unreal gown with elegance. My voluminous sleeves, essence serve of authority, and aristocratic coral beads highlight the grandeur of epic women. In this regal ensemble, I pay tribute to Cross River's cultural pride on the global stage.
I am draped in akocha, meaning white wrapper. My attire symbolizes purity, honor, and respect. My beaded adornments represent wealth and beauty, while my headgear signifies a woman's status. With ankle bracelets that add grace to my steps, I honor Delta's rich cultural heritage.
Give it up for Miss Delta. Coming up next, Miss Ebonyi.
In my green Isiagu, I symbolize the fertility of Ebonyi's land, renowned for agriculture and yam production. A yam basket around my hips honors heritage and womanhood. My coral beads reflect the beauty, royalty, and strength of the Igbo people, celebrating Ebonyi's nurturing spirit.
Up next, Miss Edo.
Adorned in coral beads and crowned with the ikoko, I embody royalty, strength, and divine beauty. As the heartbeat of the nation, I carry the glorious heart of my people with pride, showcasing Edo's rich culture and authority to the world. Oba Tokbe! Ise.
Miss Enugu.
I am an Outgoing, a lioness. My costume reflects the resilience and strength of Enugu women. The intricate patterns and bold accessories I wear evoke the lush hills of the southeastern Nigeria. My regal headdress and vibrant colors honor Igbo heritage with pride.
Miss Igbo!
Inspired by Esilokum, this costume channels the goddess of beauty, powerful and divine, draped in royal blue for majesty, black for vengeance, and white for sacredness. She bestows blessings on the pure-hearted. Her fringed garments and whip embody grace, strength, and transformation.
Miss Kaduna!
As Miss Kaduna, my costume reflects the rich heritage of my state, with vibrant house of fabric, locally woven raffia, and intricate cowrie embellishments. My symbolic house of cap proudly bears an inscribed flag of Kaduna State, celebrating our unique identity. The green tones of the raffia represent our agricultural strength, and the crocodile's Kada of the Kaduna River. This masterpiece honors the resilience, artistry, and traditions of my people.
Miss Kogi!
Representing Okun, Igala, and Ebira cultures, I celebrate Kogi's unity in diversity. The basket I carry signifies the state's agricultural richness in cocoa and cashew farming. My symbol highlights the importance of promoting harmony across tribes while showcasing Kogi's vibrant heritage.
Miss Kwara!
As Miss Farah, my costume highlights the beauty of Adire fabric, crafted using ancient resist dye techniques. Its deep indigo pattern symbolizes creativity and resilience. A white horsetail and coral beads adorn my look, signifying authority, purity, and nobility. This masterpiece is a tribute to Kwara's artisans, celebrating our rich history and craftsmanship.
Miss Lagos!
As Miss Lagos, my costume embodies the vibrant spirit and elegance of my city. Made from exquisite ashoke with gold embroidery, it is paired with an elaborate gele and intricate beadwork. The irukere, hostel whisk, symbolizes Yoruba royalty, while my iro and buba highlights the timeless Lagos fashion. Every detail tells a story of Lagos' cultural wealth and unstoppable energy.
Miss Ogun! As Miss Ogun, my costume carries the spirit of the Ogun people with a fusion of ashoke and adire fabric. I represent Ogun's rich textile heritage through its craftsmanship. The Olumarok painting at the base of my dress, a symbol of strength and unity. My fan depicts the Ojude Oba festival in its grandeur, paying homage to the Awujali in regal elegance. I reflect Ogun's resilience, culture, and rich artistic legacy. I am Ogun State. Miss Ondo!
I honor Princess Bukuku, founder of Ondo Kingdom. My white beaded armor neckpiece symbolizes royalty, purity, and wisdom. Reflecting the strength of Ondo women, the intricate weaving of my attire preserves tradition. The irukere symbolizes respect and leadership, while the shekere with its rhythmic echoes respect, harmony, and unity, capturing the vibrant spirit of Ondo State, a land of heritage and excellence. I stand for compassion, empowerment, and innovation.
Miss Osun!
I am Onikiyon, the warrior beauty of Osun, embodying both strength and grace. Draped in metallic embellished ashoke, I radiate the charm and power of a goddess.
My coral bead signifies royalty, while my spear represents resilience. I reign supreme, a mesmerizing symbol of divine strength.
Miss Oyo.
Inspired by Oyo's legacy, my costume features the Cocoa House, a tribute to agricultural wealth. 33 stars adorn me, honoring the state's local government. Shekere and Ilu drums in my ensemble celebrate Yoruba culture, while my fruit-adorned skirt symbolizes abundance. I tell Oyo's story of excellence. As Miss Plateau, my costume Munato is a symbol of unity and resilience. Made from indigenous materials, its wing designs, crafted from locally sourced skin, represent strength and collective power. Just as skins become unbreakable when woven together, so do we as people. This attire is a proud declaration of tradition, hope, progress, and inspiring oneness and cultural pride.
Miss Rivers!
As Miss Rivers, my costume is adorned in imported lace and traditional fabrics, like Indri and Blangidi. This attire reflects the elegance of Rivers women. The layered wrappers, intricate beadwork, and regal headpiece celebrates the state's rich cultural blend, making a striking statement of beauty and pride.
And now, to lead us through this night of glory and grandeur, a media powerhouse, a master of the mic, a world-class events host who commands every stage he steps on, Anthony Abraham. And by his side, a dynamic force in media, an award-winning host, soulful singer, and trailblazer in the art of storytelling, Tolu Ajibola. Together, they bring style, substance, and star power to the maiden edition of Miss World Nigeria 2025.
Tolu, it's an incredible evening. I mean, look at the incredible, colorful, artistic outfits we have here. I'm proud to be Nigerian.
Hello, Nigeria. Please a big round of applause, everyone. Hello, Miss World. And it's a pleasure to be here. I'll be co-hosting this exciting event with the one and only Anthony Abraham.
Tolu, thank you very much. But trust me, I'm super excited. It's going to be a great evening. Historic. Look at you. I mean, working with this incredible 22 delegates plus you, I guarantee you we're about to make history tonight. These 22 girls are going to showcase everything African. They're intelligent, they're incredible, and they're the biggest superstars on planet Earth right now. But one very lucky lady is going to walk away with that title, Miss World Nigeria 2025.
Anthony, I was thinking of making you an extra contestant. Wouldn't that work?
Of course.
That would be good.
Any day.
So,
look at you. I mean, you are worth more than $1 billion right now.
This is a lot of scopes and sacks, but we're here for the girls.
Ladies
tonight.
and gentlemen, our 23rd delegate, Tolu Ajibola. Do you want to show them your walk?
Do you want me to walk?
Oh, wait,
I don't
wait,
want to
show
fall
them
off
the way.
stage.
Whoa.
I have a slit. I'm scared.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's a historic evening, and it's the maiden edition of the Miss World Nigeria. We're coming to you live from the Balmoral Event Center, right here at Federal Palace, Victoria Island, Lagos.
All right, I must say that over the years, this pageant has been outstanding, even though this is the maiden edition. But you were going to ask me a question.
Of course, Tolu. Silverbird has done this for decades. They've produced incredible ladies that have represented Nigeria at the Miss World pageant for over 30 years. Man, that is big. Tolu, do you have a favorite representative, a delegate?
But before that, a big round of applause to Silverbird. A big round of applause to Silverbird. But over the years, we've had outstanding and beautiful ladies. But one person remains consistent, Agbani Darego. And she changed the game, right? So that's my favorite. But we're here for the girls tonight.
Of course. This great event is going to produce an iconic star. And tonight, we're going to crown the maiden title holder for Miss World Nigeria. And of course, it's also going to be an evening filled with tons of awards. We have tons of title holders and great entertainment. Tolu, what do you think? What's one thing you'll be looking out for this great evening?
I'm looking out for the girls, the dance, the walk, and the final stage. That's what I'm looking out for. And I'm sure you're all excited tonight. A round of applause for yourselves. It's going to be a beautiful night. I'm already waiting.
All right. Tolu, let's also remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're streaming on social media platforms. We're live, so please follow us on all social media platforms. And we're also thanking all our sponsors who have made this great evening very, very possible. It's historic. We're going to have a great evening. Please strap on your seatbelt. This is going to be a mind-blowing event. While we're in camp, right here at Federal Palace, a lot of great things happened in camp. The 22 delegates went through so much. Tolu, do you want to give them like a tip of the iceberg of things that happened while they were in camp?
So many activities, but we want you to enjoy it first. From the horse's mouth, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the production number, which is coming second, we're also going to get a sneak peek into some of the activities that took place while the contestants were in camp right here in Federal Palace, Victoria Island, Lagos. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy the show.
The journey to the crown begins as the Miss World Nigeria delegates make their grand entrance. Stepping out in style, each delegate embodies grace and poise, setting the stage for an unforgettable experience. Inside, the registration process is in full swing. Sashes are bestowed, marking the official start of their journey. With each sash draped, a dream inches closer to reality. In the first diary sessions, emotions run high as delegates reflect on their path leading here.
I feel at peace that I'm finally here and I can start this journey.
I was nervous. Seeing my name on the list, I was super excited. I literally shared it here.
I'm more than determined. The things I don't know, I'm willing to learn.
I feel really excited. It's something that, I've dreamt about for the longest.
This is a dream come true.
The entire team took us along and it made it really easy for us.
I have been anticipating this moment for a while.
I can't wait for what this journey is going to bring me because I trust in the experience I'm going to get.
The spotlight intensifies as media engagements commence, introducing these remarkable women to the nation. Poised and articulate, they share their stories, aspirations, and the causes they champion. The journey has begun with elegance, intellect, and passion. These delegates are ready to leave an incredible mark on the Miss World Nigeria stage.
It is still Miss World Nigeria 2025, and we're just starting. The heat is just building. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a fantastic ride this great evening. And of course, there's no way we're going to do this without our judges. I feel it's a Herculean task to sit in that table right there. On that table, I don't really envy any of them. It's really going to be a serious task this evening. What do you think, Tolu? If you had the opportunity to sit there, what would you think? Would it be something you'll admire or something you'd want to do?
I will definitely want to do it, but it's not going to be easy. But I'm sure the judges are seasoned. We have amazing citizen personalities right in front of us here. So they're going to be going into the business of the day. But I think we first have to introduce our judges. Anthony?
Of course. But Tolu, I'll be honest with you. I've done this for years. Thanks to this platform. And I don't think I want to be right there, honestly.
But I think
just
we
want
need
to hold
give
this microphone and
our
do the job
judges
here.
a round of applause.
Of course.
Please, can we give our judges a round of applause?
A round of applause for the judges. It's a great task. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pronounce this name perfectly. Our first judge, we have Mr. Frank Osodi. I'm sure I pronounced that name perfectly. A legend in the fashion world, the CEO and head designer of House of Bunor, his dress queens define elegance and shape the face of Nigerian haute couture. A round of applause for Frank Osodi. Thank you. Also on that table we have Lady Ada Chike Udozie, a powerhouse in finance and leadership. The chairman of Keystone Bank, a woman of strength, vision, and impeccable standards. A round of applause for her, please. Powerful women. There are tons of powerful women in the house. Please, if you really appreciate and celebrate women, a round of applause for all women right now. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to bring in lots of round of applauses here. Our next judge, Pierre Eddy, is the Sales and Marketing Director, Eco Atlantic City. Please, a big round of applause to this amazing man. A bigger round of applause. And up next is a household name, Dr. Toby Ayodele Kinney, who is the visionary managing director of Quincy Wellness, bringing beauty and health together through integrative, one of the very first to do this. this, in Nigeria. Please, a big round of applause to her and her legacy.
2025 Miss World Nigeria 2025
And next is a powerhouse, a man in real estate who is commanding attention, evaluation, and facility management. Founder of Osita Okoli and Company, he has shaped Nigeria's urban landscape with an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades. A big round of applause to Emmanuel Osita Okoli, our amazing judges tonight. I'm sure they're prepped and ready to give us the best for the girls tonight.
Judges, are we ready for this great evening? I'm sure if I was sitting there right now, I'll be filled with all kinds of butterflies and I'll be anticipating and there'll be so much anxiety everywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a collection of prestigious, outstanding personalities that will be doing the big business this great evening. My name is Anthony Abraham. I'm working with this fantastic lady. And of course, it's Miss World Nigeria 2025.
A standing ovation to our proud sponsors, Enchantor, Federal Palace Hotel, Balmoral Event Center, Yolo Island, Occasions and Events, the Silverbird Group. Not forgetting our invaluable partnership that brought brilliance to this stage, EBS Signatures, Regal Flowers, Ofure Photography, El Freak, Nelson Jack, Care Square, and to our esteemed supporters, Lush Hair, Biggie, Johnny Walker. To every brand, every partner, and every supporter, thank you for believing in the power of beauty, culture, and excellence. Miss World Nigeria 2025 is a success because of you. Thank you.
Down on the sofa, riding my stick at the chauffeur, under my umbrella. Make una tell me what I do, Stella. Girl, you the carry me, they show power, they show under my umbrella, Make una tell me what I do, Stella. Girl, you the carry me, they show power, they show power. She's over, treat me nicely. She's over. They want me stony. She's over, she's over, she's over. Treat me nicely.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the Miss World Nigeria 2025, a historic evening. It's the maiden edition. And of course, while they were in camp, various activities took place. One of them was when these girls had the opportunity to go to the Yolo Island. Beautiful, incredible resorts. I wish I could make it, but I couldn't, unfortunately, because we had to pamper our 22 delegates. It was an incredible experience, and of course, we have everything on camera, so you have the opportunity to experience what happened at Yolo Island. But also remember, it's a lot of surprises, entertainment. While they were in Yolo Island, it wasn't just beauty. We had to make sure our queens got into some very interesting athletics, and you won't believe how creative these girls are. You might never tell. The next superstar in football or basketball could just emerge here, or the next, Tiger Woods could emerge here. So while they were in Yolo Island, they were up to some sports activity, and you're going to be seeing the video, and of course, they're going to showcase their active wear. So ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget, it's the Miss World Nigeria 2025.
gentlemen, give it up for the Northern Group. Introducing the Southern Group. gentlemen, give it up for the Western Group.
So the activewear was really interesting. I'm sure we enjoyed the different presentations of the activewear, right? The ladies came in their different styles and panache, and I simply was loving it from where I was standing. But must also mention that the evening wear is coming up, and they're going to be displaying beautiful designs and beautiful styles. But I must also mention that we must give a round of applause to all our proud sponsors who have supported to put this event together. And as I mentioned them, please, I would love you to support me and give them a round of applause. Federal Palace Hotel, a big round of applause. Balmoral Event Center, a big round of applause. Yolo Island, Occasions and Events. The Silverbed Group, a big round of applause. Not forgetting EBS Signatures, Regal Flowers, Ophira Photography, El Freak, Nelson Jack, K-Square, and to our esteemed supporters, Lush Hair. Big round of applause to Lush Hair. The girls are looking beautiful with their different hairstyles. And Johnny Walker and Biggie. So we say a big round of applause to all our amazing sponsors. Do you want to see more from the girls? Do you want to see more activities? Okay, let's talk more action. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 22 delegates are going to showcase their gorgeous evening gowns. A round of applause for the 22 delegates. gentlemen, a round of applause for the queens in their evening gown one more time. These ladies are looking absolutely stunning. I mean, when you're talking about gorgeous queens, ladies with brains, and of course who are brilliant and beautiful, and you can only find such incredible women in Nigeria. A round of applause for the 22 delegates in their evening gown one more time. Fantastic. Tolu, how do you feel?
The ladies look so lovely and resplendent, I must say, and of course they're prepped for more activities. But tonight, history is made and dreams take flight. We must appreciate our sponsors again. Without them, we will not be doing this. So please, a standing ovation to all of our amazing sponsors. Enchanter, Federal Palace Hotel, a big round of applause. Balmoral Event Center, Yolo Island, Occasions and Events, the Silverbird Group and our partners, EBS Signatures, Regal Flower, Ofura Photography, L Freak, Nelson Jack, K Square, and also to our esteemed supporters, Lush Hair, Biggie, Johnny Walker, Intercontinental Distillers. A big round of applause to them, please. Please make it louder. Of course, we're calling on stage a very dynamic, a beautiful woman, a convener, and the chief host of the Real Talk with Kike. She is one of Nigeria's most powerful women in journalism. Do you want to know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's the one and only Kike Lama Atonda Owo Abati. Please give a round of applause for Kike.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Kike. Kike, you look absolutely fabulous. Thank you. It's an honor to be standing next to you. Okay, the first award we have for this great evening. Our 22 contestants, can you please step back a bit? You guys are so hot. You're so hot. I can feel the heat right now where I am with all the air conditioning in here. Are we ready for the first winner? Ladies and gentlemen, the first award goes to Best Talent. A round of applause for Miss Oyo. Ladies and gentlemen, Oyo wins Best Talent. The most talented delegate of all the 22 contestants with one of the competitions they had in camp. It was their talent evening and she excelled. Can we have the award for the best talent?
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Please give a round of applause as she goes back. Best traditional costume, because this category is not easy. This person had to give a very best traditional look, is Miss Abia. She stunned them with her look. She's proud, she's beautiful. She deserves a round of applause. Exciting category is the Miss Photogenic. And do you want to guess who this is? Do you want to guess? Miss Ashu! She is photogenic, she's beautiful, and she's gorgeous.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for her, please. It's not easy. 22 incredible women, and you emerge as photogenic. She's going to be the next superstar when it comes to photos now. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Amity, Miss World Nigeria 2025. And the winner is Miss Aqua Ibo. Thank you. We have another award, ladies and gentlemen. Best evening gown, haute couture special.
Yes.
Franco Sodi, that's your area. And the winner is Miss Kogi. A round of applause for Miss Kogi. Yes, she has a gorgeous evening gown. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kogi wins Best Evening Gown, Miss World Nigeria 2025. Thank you very much. The 22 delegates were in camp. they engaged in an intellectual exercise where they had to showcase some very high-skilled presentation, and that's the head-to-head challenge. This happened at the Yolo Island. So, can we have the 5 finalists for the head-to-head challenge step forward, please? Ladies and gentlemen, for our Miss World Nigeria 2025, here are our top 5 head-to-head challenge which took place at the Yolo Island. And of course, we had a small conversation with these delegates. Let's watch the screen and hear what happened.
At the serene Yolo Island Resort, 5 delegates out of 22 distinguished themselves in the head-to-head challenge, articulating visionary strategies to position Nigeria as a premier global tourist destination.
Is to ensure that technology is used to promote tourism centers in Nigeria.
Start by showcasing the wonderful places I am yet to see.
If we encourage sustainability of these projects using social media, then this will also encourage sustainability of the actual landscape.
Having a Nigerian person with me is the best way to market our culture.
It's my great hope to show Nigeria in a very positive light, to show the heart of our people, to show our beauty, our culture, and our strength.
As the moment approaches to announce the ultimate winner, the air is thick with anticipation.
To present this award, would like to invite a representative of the Yolo Island right here on stage to join us with the big check. The winner for the head-to-head challenge that took place, Yolo Island, Miss World Nigeria 2025. And the winner is Miss Oyo. Round of applause! Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Oyo is our winner. Things are beginning to heat up. One more time, a round of applause for all our winners in various categories. We will be back with the top 10. Congratulations to the girls. One more time, a round of applause for them, please. Thank you very much.
Miss World Nigeria 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the 22 delegates. A round of applause for the 22 delegates. I must tell you, it hasn't been an easy task. It's been so much this great evening. It started 2 weeks ago. In fact, it started as early as January. This race from Miss World Nigeria 2025 is going to be an incredible turnout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to unveil the top 10 semi-finalists. Our chief judge is just going to hand me the list of the top 10 semi-finalists for Miss World Nigeria 2025. Super exciting evening. Ladies, I'm sure you have butterflies in your tummy right now. I don't pray to be in those shoes, but you all look gorgeous. Thank you very much, sir. No, you look great. Well done. Thank you, Chief Judge. I know it's been a very difficult task being a Chief Judge, right? How's it been in that seat over there?
So far, so good. Thrilling.
Thank you. Thrilling. Super exciting. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the list here for the top 10 finalists. And remember, the top 3 I announce are the top 3 who have the highest votes during camp voting session. In no particular order will 7 be announced. But the first 3 will be the top 3 who had the highest votes. So, the contestant that had the highest votes, number 1 is Miss Imo. A round of applause for Miss Imo. She's our first fast track delegate. Walk all the way here. Our second fast track to join the top 10 is Miss Abia. She had the second highest votes. And the third is Miss Cross River. The third fast track who had the third highest votes. Now we have 7 more delegates to join the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Oshu. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ebonyi. A round of applause for Miss Ebonyi. To join the top 10 list, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Abuja. Thank you. Ebonyi, could you move slightly towards your right? Slightly towards your right, Ebonyi. Move further down. Perfect. To join Miss Abuja, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Oyo. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to join the top 10 list, Miss Rivers. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better, I'm sure. It's been so much for these contestants this great evening. And of course, to join the top 10 list, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lagos. We have 1 more contestant to join the top 10 semi-finalists Miss World Nigeria 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Delta. And here we have our top 10 semi-finalists Miss World Nigeria 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for them. Thank you very much. We want to take one more great look at them and, celebrate the top 10 semi-finalists. It's been so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the semi-finalists. Of course, we're going to have our finalists, top 10 semi-finalists walk on stage, showcase, celebrate how happy they are to have emerged semi-finals for the Miss World Nigeria 2025. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the excitement is pumping. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going straight to our top 5. Judges, are we ready? Chief Judge, do we have our top 5 list ready? Okay? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chief Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, in no particular order, we're announcing our top 5. Miss World Nigeria 2025. Number 1 on this list is Miss Oshu. A round of applause for Miss Oshu. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Oshu. Okay. To join Miss Oshu, top 5 Miss World Nigeria 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Imo. Yes, we have 3 more delegates to go. 3 more delegates to make our top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Miss Ebonyi. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 more delegates to join our top 5. A round of applause for Miss Abia. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it is getting really exciting now. Miss World Nigeria 2025. And we have 1 more delegate to join the top 5. Oh my. I can see the other girls. It's not easy, delegates. 1 more to join the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for Miss Abuja. Thank you. Can we have the delegates showcase on stage? Would like the delegates to have a walk. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss World Nigeria 2025. We've come this far, and I must say these fantastic ladies have done exceedingly well to emerge top 5.
So this is the moment of truth where we get to the heart of the matter, and we're going to ask these beautiful girls questions. Ladies, are you ready? Somebody signed there. All right, so Miss Ebony, a round of applause as she comes out. She is beautiful, isn't she? Now the first question. What kind of obstacles did you have to overcome to compete in this pageant?
So when I decided to join this pageant, I had a lot of negative feedback. And this is because this is my very first pageant. People were telling me that this was too big for me and that I wouldn't make it. But here I am, and I'm proud of myself. Thank you.
A big round of applause.
Miss Abuja, could you join me here? Right here. What has been your greatest challenge in life?
Good evening, everybody. My greatest challenge in life was accepting myself for who I truly am. Growing up, I was bullied because of my height. People felt I was too tall or I looked different. But I realized that there is a space for me and there are people out there who love me just the way I am.
Go ahead.
At a young age, I decided to pursue that dream, and at 17, I was working the wrong way, and I'm glad I found my space and my people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her one more time.
All right, our next queen, Miss Emo. A round of applause as she comes out. Isn't she lovely? Miss Emo, you look gorgeous tonight. So, this is a very important question. What is the most important issue your generation is facing?
Thank you. I believe the issue that our generation is facing is unemployment. Through my advocacy, which is financial freedom, we are able to empower and emancipate youths around the world and in Nigeria by giving them financial literacy, through giving them skill trainings and job offers, leading them to attain jobs for themselves, and leading them to financial freedom. Thank you.
A big round of applause to Miss Emo as she goes back. Thank you, Miss Emo. Do your work.
Miss Abia. Miss Abia, what qualities do you think are essential for a role model to possess?
First, you have to be determined, because you can't make both steps if you are not determined. And for a determined person to be a good role model, you have to be courageous. These are the qualities I believe a person should have in order to be a good role model. Thank you.
A round of applause for her one more time. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, Miss Oshun, could you join me here? You're last but not the least. Oh, it's a braid, sorry. Cornrows, right? Aha, yeah. Okay, well, whatever name, it looks great. Okay, Miss Oshun, have you ever been bullied? If yes, how did you handle it?
As a child who grew up without a mother, I was intimidated and harassed by my caregiver, who was supposed to stand in as my mother. She told me I would never amount to anything, but I'm here today on this world stage, doing what I know how to do best. And all I can say is, whatever God has destined you to be, nobody can say otherwise. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Our top five. Trust me, it's not easy at all. We're very close to unveiling Miss World Nigeria 2025. But before we get there, we have a reigning queen who's reigned exceedingly well. Incredible lady. She's a businesswoman. She's got a great heart. And when she won MBGN in 2022, she's been able to hold the title MBGN Miss World Nigeria 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, can we welcome on stage Ada Amen. All right.
The first time I auditioned for the most beautiful girl in Nigeria was in 2017. I had spent months preparing for audition. I practiced my presentation to perfection and researched answers to all possible questions. I was so sure I was going to win, but guess what? I didn't even make it past the online audition. I tried again in 2018 and 2021, same outcome. And after my third rejection, I began to feel that maybe this dream wasn't meant to be. So I counted my losses and ended my interest. By 2022, I had completely lost the zeal to apply because I couldn't bear the heartbreak of another rejection. But deep down in me, I still had an inexplainable belief in the possibility. So I applied. This time, I didn't just make it past audition, I made it to camp. I represented my beloved Abia State and my incredible Abriba community. And just like that, Delegate number 1 became the most beautiful girl in Nigeria. It felt so unreal till the moment the crown rested on my head and the tears came. Tears of joy, of appreciation, of destiny unfolding. Representing my country at the Miss World in India will forever remain the greatest honors of my life. I walked that stage knowing I was capable, I was worthy, I was beautiful and talented. And today, as I take my final walk, I cannot do so without gratitude. To God Almighty, the one who knows the end from the beginning, I say thank you. To my Father, my guardian angel, thank you for being my pillar of strength. To my mother, I honor you. My mentors, my team, I am who I am because of your love, your belief, and your unwavering support. To the Silverbird organization, thank you for giving me the platform to serve as the most beautiful girl in Nigeria and Miss World Nigeria, and for trusting me to carry schistosomiasis awareness to the world, using my voice for those who had none. To my successor, the crown is on your head for a reason. You are capable, you are worthy, and chosen by God. And finally, to every girl who once doubted herself, to those who have received more no's than yes, to those with nothing but a dream, keep pushing. Success is indeed on the other side of fear. With love, now and always, your longest reigning, most beautiful girl in Nigeria yet, and Miss World Nigeria 2022 to 2025. I am and always will be the diamond of every season.
I would like to say first and foremost, thank you to the Silverbird organization. I don't believe that I say it enough. Thank you for choosing a girl, I'm not going to cry, choosing a girl that just only had a bag of dreams and making her the most beautiful girl in Nigeria and trusting in her that dreams can have wings and it can fly. And then to the next person that is going to go to Miss World, I think that the fact that you're going to India is really prophetic. And I believe so much in the ability that you carry. It may not look like much right now, but once that crown rests upon your head, there with it comes a new grace to exceed. I believe in you. Cancel out the noise and the naysayers. I know you do absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well-spoken, gorgeous, intelligent, beauty, and brains. And she also has a great heart. Thank you very much, Ada. Congratulations. One of the longest running queens we had. You're lucky. Congratulations, Ada. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Ada Eme one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're there. We're really there right now. I know it's big. Can we have the top 5 back on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm also going to hand over the microphone now to the National Director, Miss World Nigeria. He's been doing this job for years. He's an incredible man. I've worked with him. I'm still learning every day. He's teaching me the ropes. He's teaching me all the skills. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Guy Murray Bruce, Silverbird President Group. Please put your hands together for the group president of Silverbird, Mr. Guy Murray Bruce. Join me on stage, and he's going to do the honors of announcing Miss World Nigeria 2025. Mr. Guy, it's a maiden edition.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Tolu, for a job well done. Thank you, my wife, for being here. Charles, thank you very much for coming. Keep the power going on in Nigeria, especially Lagos. Do we have the results of to ensure we got the right results? Thank you, Osita. Can I call Ada Eme, Outgoing Queen, to come on stage, please? I must thank the judges for a job well done. Please give them a round of applause. The fourth runner-up, Miss World Nigeria 2025. Please welcome Miss Imo. Third runner-up, Miss Ebony. The second runner-up, Miss Abia. I would like 3 of you to step back a little bit. I'd like Ms. Ogun and Mr. Buja to please step forward. Before I announce the results of the winner, I must say, in the event the winner cannot fulfill her role as queen, the first runner-up takes over. Ladies and gentlemen, the title Miss World Nigeria 2025, Miss Oshun. Miss World Nigeria 2025, how do you feel?
I feel very happy. I feel opportuned. I am very grateful to the Miss World organization for finding me worthy to wear this prestigious crown. And we have a bigger fish to fry ahead.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Silverbird Productions, my name is Guy Bruce, and I say good night and see you next year.
Thank you.